Hey everyone, my name is Angie Norris and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Angie's Book Adventures. And tonight I'm going to be answering some questions that I have seen other booktubers answer in their newbie BookTube Tag post, which I knew nothing about until a week or so ago when I heard Krista at Books and Jams giving advice to people who were new booktubers to use that tag. And then I started searching for some of those videos and found out that there's a video where you answer questions, and I knew nothing about it. And I have been doing book reviews and book related videos on YouTube, BookTube, for several months now, so I'm probably behind the times, but stay tuned. I'm going to answer those questions for you. All right, so let's get into these questions. Well, actually, before we do that, because personally, after watching several of these BookTube newbie videos, some of these questions are just boring. So I'm going to answer them, but I'm going to take just a minute here at the beginning just to tell you some general information about myself so that you can determine whether or not you like me and you want to continue watching my videos. I live in the great state of North Carolina, the Tar Heel State for you trivia people. I was born, bred, and probably will be dead in Harnett County, North Carolina. I have always lived in the same county. I've lived in different towns, but in the same county my entire life. And 2 weeks ago, yesterday, April the 13th, was my 60th birthday. And so I am one of your older booktubers, and I suppose if I had to answer that question about what uniqueness I might bring to BookTube is that I may bring a more mature perspective. When you get to my age, sometimes you just don't care what people think or what you say sometimes. So I am always going to give it to you straight, not a lot of sugarcoating. I don't know if you guys heard that, but we just had a redneck truck go down the road. So I live in North Carolina. I am married. I have 2 children and I have 5 grandchildren. And part of my family lives here in North Carolina and part of them lives in Indiana. Excuse me. My husband is a little older than me. He's 13 years older than me. He is self-employed. He is a real estate appraiser and I help him in his business. For 32 years, prior to that, I worked in the mortgage industry. So I did everything in mortgage loans that you could ever imagine, from processing to underwriting, to taking your loan application, to approving your loan application, to closing your loan application and doing all the closing documents. I did everything in the mortgage business. And then in 2019, I left my mortgage career and went to work with my husband. So now I help him in his real estate appraisal business. So we're kind of self-employed. We have a second home at the beach in North Carolina. It's not a house. It is a 42-foot fifth wheel camper. And so we leave that camper in a campground on the Intercoastal Waterway of North Carolina, and we go there a lot. So we're there, we try to go there at least twice a month. So you may hear me talk about that a little bit. But that's me. And one thing I guess that happened to me most recently in the past few years is that I am a breast cancer survivor. At the age of 56, yes, 56, I was diagnosed with breast cancer in October of 2021. I had a left side mastectomy. It was during the COVID era. So when I had the mastectomy, I was not able to have reconstruction surgery right away, which ended up being okay because I had to have radiation treatments. And so I have had a total of 5 surgeries, including a failed reconstruction, emergency surgery from a blood clot. I won't bore you with all the details, maybe on another video. but I just recently in January of this year had my final phase of my reconstruction surgery. And so I am doing well and I'm happy to be alive. I am cancer free at this moment. I see my oncologist every 6 months to make sure of that. But I get up every day and thank the good Lord above that I am here. So if any of that interests you, then I'm glad you made it this far, and I'm going to start answering those questions now. So hang tight. Okay, I got my trusty list here and we're going to start. Number one question was, why did you start this channel? I started this channel a few months ago, actually, so I'm a little bit behind the BookTube Newbie Tag because I really got back into reading over the past couple of years due to my breast cancer and having so many surgeries and having so much downtime. I had a complication again last year and had a wound that wouldn't heal and just had a lot of downtime where I jumped back in and really reignited my love for reading. And so I was watching a lot of BookTube and watching other people do videos, and I thought, I don't see a lot of older women on BookTube doing videos who might, like me, not be a fantasy fan. I'm really not a fan of fantasy. I have read some and I will continue to read some here and there, but I'm not a huge fan. I'm a huge historical fiction fan and a mystery thriller fan, a little bit of romance. But that's really why I started it. I wanted to see if I could gain some followers and do some book reviews and maybe share with some other folks my opinion of the books that I have read recently. All right, what are some unique things you bring to YouTube? I kind of already answered that one. Probably nothing, except you guys are going to be listening to a redneck, 60-year-old Southern lady. Like I said, Southern born, bred, probably will be dead. What am I most excited for on BookTube? Just to gain some followers. I'd love for you guys to hit the subscribe button if you're not a subscriber, because I need some subscribers. I need some people to view my channel. If you'd share it, I would really appreciate it. So I'm just most excited about growing my channel, actually. Why do I love reading? I loved reading from an early age. My parents called me a bookworm. Even in the summertime because I'm an avid swimmer. I was a lifeguard from the time I was old enough to qualify to be one. But my parents, my brother and I were avid swimmers, and we swam on the swim team, and my parents would drop us off at the pool in the afternoon and we'd stay all day. But even in the summertime, I would stop by the library at least once a week. And in the evenings, I was in my room. I was holed up in my room reading a book. And so I've always loved to read, but like everyone, or like most people, I'll say, maybe not everyone. As I got a little older, got into my mid-20s to mid-30s, when my mortgage career started taking off, and I really got obsessed with that. And the mortgage industry is very fluctuates, and it's busy at times, and there were days that I would work 16, 18-hour days, and you just don't really have a lot of time for reading. So my life shifted like that, and as I said, it has shifted back now to where I do have more time to read, and I am enjoying reading much more. What challenges do I foresee with this channel? I'm 60 years old, guys. I may have some technology challenges. I like to think that I'm technology savvy, but I'm not. So getting the videos put together, I may not, be the best person at inserting little words over the video and inserting little pictures of book covers. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that yet. So just hang tight. I'll learn as I go, but that's my biggest challenge that I foresee. When did I start reading? Hey guys, I started reading when I started school. I'm not a child prodigy. I did not start reading at 3 years old, like I've heard some of you people say, which I'm not saying that you're lying, but you were a child prodigy is all I can say. I didn't start reading till I went to school. Where do I read? I read primarily sitting in my recliner, sometimes on my back screened-in porch, sometimes on my deck at the beach, sometimes on the beach, depending on how the weather is. But mostly I read in my recliner. And sometimes if my husband is in the room with me, he will want to watch television. So I'll do one of two things. I'll either put my AirPods in and I'll put white noise on and I'll continue to read, or I'll get up and go in the other room and go to the bedroom and read. What kind of books do I like to read? I kind of answered that one already. I'm a huge historical fiction fan and I love a good mystery thriller. I do occasionally read a romance. I'm not into the sappy rom-coms. That's just not me. And that's a lot of what my book collection does look like. But yeah, I'm a good psychological thriller, mystery thriller, any of that category. Historical fiction, I like contemporary fiction. I like Southern fiction about small towns. And I love Fannie Flagg. She's one of my favorite authors. And I also I try to balance my fictional reading with my Christian Bible study and devotional reading as well. So you'll see a lot of Christian books in my book collection as well. I actually added another question that I thought would be interesting for some people to answer, but I didn't really see too many people asking this question. I wanted to tell you what is my favorite content of other booktubers. So as I've started watching YouTube videos, and one of my favorite booktubers is Krista with Books and Jams. I like Sarah at Sarah's Nightstand, Lindsay's Little Library. I also watch Jen Sprin. I like to see people talk about new releases. So when they do the new release videos for each month, I like the TBR videos. I like to see the people do play a game, or pull prompts out of a jar. And I'm actually going to do that this month. So those are my favorite type of videos. So anyway, I know this may have been longer than it should have been for the first BookTube Newbie Tag video, but I like to talk. If you guys haven't figured that out already, maybe if you've made it this long, I'd appreciate you dropping a comment below and telling me if you're a newbie too, because I'd love to follow you as well. But please hit the subscribe button and ring the bell so you'll be notified when I do upload new videos. Thank you guys, and have a great night.